It's late in the offseason. Damian Lillard is still a member of the Portland Trail Blazers. James Harden is still on the Philadelphia 76ers roster, though he might be out $100,000 now. The last NBA game was played more than 2 months ago, and the next NBA game won't be played for more than a month. With no big trades to grade and no on-court action to break down, the late summer NBA discourse has once again turned to one of the fan base's favorite narratives, the GOAT debate. However, this time it's not LeBron versus Michael Jordan, but about the greatest point guard of all time. And it boils down to Stephen Curry versus Magic Johnson. It all started when Curry was a guest on Gil's Arena, the podcast hosted by former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas, who posed this question to Curry.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes. Yes. It's me and Magic? That's the conversation?
Yeah.
To your point, like, Magic's resume is ridiculous. All right, so the fact that we're even having that conversation it's a place I never thought I'd be in.
The debate took on new life when Michael Jordan, who played with Johnson on the 1992 Dream Team, allegedly texted his thoughts to Stephen A. Smith.
Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Now, who really knows if MJ actually texted Stephen A? The jury's out on that one. But as far as the greatest point guard of all time goes, both Curry and Johnson have strong cases. The case for Magic Johnson, Jordan said in his message to Smith, "You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. And if you define point guard as primarily a passing role, Johnson excels where Curry does not." When Johnson retired for the first time in 1991, he was the NBA's all-time assist leader with 9,921. After a brief comeback in 1996, he finished his career with 10,141 assists, a total that ranks 7th in NBA history. His 11.2 assists per game still rank as an NBA record, and that's just the regular season. Johnson also dished out 2,346 assists in the postseason, more than 300 more than the next player on the list. Curry, by comparison, has been far less prolific in setting up his teammates. His 5,740 assists rank 45th in NBA history, and he's averaged more than 8 assists only once in his 14 seasons. Johnson also has 3 MVP awards to Curry's 2, 3 Finals MVP awards to Curry's 1, and 5 NBA championships to Curry's 4. In the 12 seasons Johnson played before being forced to retire because of a positive HIV test in 1991, his Los Angeles Lakers never missed the playoffs and reached the NBA Finals 9 times. When ESPN did its ranking of the NBA's 75th anniversary team in the 2021-22 season, Johnson ranked 4th overall, behind Jordan, LeBron, and Kareem, while Curry ranked 16th. Though that was before his 4th title and first Finals MVP award. Unlike any other professional sport, the NBA is happy to put get-off-my-lawn older players who appear to detest the modern game on some of its biggest stages. Enter TNT's Charles Barkley. He was on the Bill Simmons podcast and the NBA's off-season online debate of the greatest point guard ever, which is when Barkley went on to rant about how the bad boy Pistons would break Curry.
And I love Steph Curry. Can you imagine if the bad boys was beating the hell out of him? Bill, can you imagine that? As much as I love Steph Curry, if you think that he could take those blows that John Sally, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer, those body checks that they were putting on Michael and Scotty and myself and guys like that, you really think Steph Curry wouldn't break?
No, he would not. The argument that today's players could not adjust to the physicality allowed in the previous eras is lazy and flawed on 2 fronts. Curry specifically, and a lot of other players today. are a lot tougher than Barkley wants to admit. Look at it this way. Curry is officially listed as 6'2", and he plays now at around 195 to 200 pounds. Who were some of the top point guards of that era? John Stockton, 6'1", 170. Barkley's teammate Kevin Johnson, 6'1", 180. Mark Price, 6', 170. Barkley's TNT partner Kenny Smith, 6'3", 170. John Starks, 6'3", 180. And then there's 6'7", 185-pound Reggie Miller. Those guys and many more that size had no problem against the bad boy Pistons. Curry would be a superstar in any era. So would Barkley. The need to prop up the old eras of the game as superior because that's what people grew up with can get tiring at times. It should be noted that Curry is still playing and has plenty of time to move up in various NBA statistical lists, though he can't move up the career three-point list because he's already at the top. He also holds 4 of the top 5 spots on the NBA's single-season three-point list and is the only player in NBA history to make at least 400 three-pointers in a single season. Speaking of lists which Curry stands alone, he remains the only player to win MVP honors unanimously, something he did in 2015-16 when he led the Warriors to a record 73 wins in the regular season. Curry's career scoring average, 24.6 points per game, dwarfs Johnson's 19.5, and he's already surpassed Magic in total career points, 21,712 to 17,707. Curry won scoring titles in 2015-16 and 2020-21, averaging more than 30 points per game in both seasons. As Arenas pointed out during his podcast discussion with Curry, the Warriors star has also spawned a generation of imitators and changed how the game is played beyond the three-point arc.
I can witness and watch every kid trying to be Curry. You know what I mean? So it's like the influence that you really have on the game from the position as a player. I look at the stats and say, okay, Magic then Curry. When I look at the kids and I watch AAU, it's like, nah.
According to Gilbert Arenas, Stephen Curry's 4 NBA championships won with the Golden State Warriors hold more value than Magic Johnson's 5 title rings with the Showtime Lakers.
When it comes to Magic, this is the only problem I have when we're talking about the greatest, right? Where's the factor in that he came into a dynasty? Like, this is not, you didn't go to some bottom-feeding team and you had to build it like Steph. If we're gonna say the best point guard ever, I have to give it to the guy who technically, in our sense, came from the mud, right? He actually built, like Michael Jordan. Yeah. We see your team was trash and y'all built this championship.
Yeah.
Steph Curry built this championship.
Arenas went on to conclude that if anyone says Magic is a point guard, then LeBron James is the point guard GOAT because, like Magic, he isn't a natural at the one spot. James orchestrated his team's offense and led every squad he's played on in assists. Enhancing LeBron's point guard GOAT status is that he is 4th all-time in assists and is the NBA's new all-time leading scorer after passing Kareem this past season. LA Clippers star Paul George said it best. George believes both Curry and Magic can be the GOAT point guards.
Nobody's wrong. And this is why the debate stuff is starting to get so annoying at this point. Because who's going to be the person that be like, he's right? But neither one of them is wrong in this situation. Magic Johnson is the GOAT by his own, what he did in his era, at his size, the way he could play make, the way he could create, the way he saw the floor, the way he just manipulated the game, from rebounding, from out of the post, from out of fast breaks, from half-court sets, the way he just did that. He didn't have to be a high shooting guard. He didn't have to hit threes. That wasn't his game then. You know what I mean? Right. Whereas Steph Curry revolutionized the point guard position to where now we see shooting point guards. We see scoring point guards. We gotta highlight Magic.
Got to.
Because he was the GOAT. He is the GOAT.
Right.
He is the GOAT. Steph Curry is a GOAT.
Very different players, Curry and Magic got the job done in different ways. But the bottom line is that both players got the job done at a level never seen before. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Who is your greatest point guard of all time? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing NBA content. Thanks for watching.